Kazakhstan has chosen the multi-vector integration. Its trends, collisions and prospects are coming up in the Single Market program.
Hello, my name is Pavel Koktyshev, and you're watching Single Market. One of the most popular topics of Single Market is globalization. We return to it from time to time for one simple reason. This feature of the modern market is undergoing a transformation. At the same time as the Astana Economic Forum, which was held in June, showed that a parallel global process is unchanging, the expansion of communications. Oleg Boldarev brings us the report. 2016 ended up being a game-changer for the global economy. For the first time, non-convertible currency was changed to a status of a reserve currency. We're talking about the yuan, which cannot be exchanged for other currencies in China without the permission of the country's national bank. This historical moment is evidence that the vector of development of the world economy has completely shifted in the direction of Southeast Asia. The shift in the global economic paradigm was realized through two fundamental processes. The first is substituting the old technology platforms with innovative ones. These combine productions based on bioengineering, communication and nano developments, as well as additive instruments, with the use of which it is possible to gradually manufacture products in 3D format. And this technological setup is drawing more and more attention. Its prolonged growth for more than 10 years has resulted in leading countries having this sector contribute more than 5% of GDP. This is enough in order to be able to forecast the commencement of a stable and fast economic growth. Simultaneously with the change in the technological paradigm, there is an ongoing industrial revolution. Experts have called it the Industry 4.0, having identified the main features of this phenomenon: wide-scale introduction of cyber systems. And the tone of the Industrial Revolution is set by the countries of Southeast Asia, which today take part in China's global initiative, One Belt, One Road.
Once they're executed well, what does that mean for normal people? And one of the challenges, I think, in any society and state is to invest money successfully and carefully. But if this is done correctly, these big infrastructure projects that will happen in Kazakhstan and in many of the other countries does have the potential to change the lives for tens of millions, hundreds of millions, even billions of people.
Kazakhstan, as one of the closest neighbors of China, has all the chances of fitting into the new model of economic growth. However, this will require an objective assessment of resources such as human capital and technology transfer. If we take a look at how this was done in Korea, Singapore and Japan, for these countries it worked. First you copy, learn the skills in order to promote a certain product, and then you might learn the skills necessary to create some original ideas. Precisely thanks to the transfer of technologies, the countries of Southeast Asia have established an integral microeconomic climate. It is based on the advantages of a centralized market economy and built on a system of financial institutions that guarantee an annual economic growth of 6 to 12%. Today, even the leading countries of the world cannot achieve such results. We are seeing that the system of institutions that was put in place by the liberal global model, where US, American, European and Japanese transnational corporations dominated on the world economic arena and had unlimited access to cheap loans because of currency emissions, has actually run its course. This trend could be noticed in 2017 during the biggest international meetings, including the Astana Economic Forum, the main session of which was dedicated to the topic globalization, a future full of uncertainties. And the phrasing of the topic presumed that this question must not be left unanswered. Its resolution is a task that is set before all countries. However, there are already forecasts regarding the future scenario of development of the world economy. A new core of the global economy will be formed by the participants of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. This year there are 8 of them. Altogether they produce more goods than the United States and the countries of the European Union, an alliance that encompasses a greater number of countries. By 2030, according to leading experts, the countries of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization will be producing more than half of the world's GDP. Oleg Boldarev, Askar Aitkenov, exclusively for Single Market. There are many examples in history when during some minor experiments, the greatest discoveries were made. For example, this happened with penicillin. It was discovered in 1928 by Alexander Fleming, but back then the scientist was engaged in other research ideas and did not appreciate the importance of his discovery. The same happened with the blockchain systems, which in terms of its significance has long ago outdone the Bitcoin system of payments for which it was created. Does Kazakhstan have a chance in fitting itself into the blockchain system, and what does this innovative product offer? Our expert Alexander Galiyev brings us the details. To start off, let's shed some light on the definition of what is a blockchain. Our entire world is an example of excessive centralization. Everything has a center. The earth, its core; a country, its capital; a banking system, its central bank. But the blockchain system violates this principle. A system, even one as simple as a Bitcoin, can perfectly function without centralization. What's more, due to its certain advantages, this cryptocurrency even benefits from decentralization. Despite the complex mathematical foundation, the essence of a blockchain system is quite simple. Basically, it is a chain of blocks that contain the history of assets and records of all transactions. At the same time, the copies of the database, or some of its parts, are simultaneously stored on numerous computers and are synchronized within the framework of formal rules of establishment of blockchains. The blockchain operations are checked with the use of so-called miners that have high computing capabilities. The blocks that meet certain criteria are sent to a network, becoming part of a distributed database of blocks, and those that do not meet the criteria are excluded. What other interesting details can be said about blockchains? Its software code is open source, but only information on certain transactions can be seen and personal information is unavailable. Blockchains are very resistant to breaches. In any case, so far no one has been able to do so. In terms of implementation, blockchain systems have great prospects. There's an infinite range of possibilities of their use. Spheres such as medicine, state regulation, real estate, electronic government, and others. In one word, notarization of the most diverse processes which take place every day in a developed country. Today, big business is being formed around blockchain systems. For example, the capitalization of the platform Ethereum in 2 years exceeded $20 billion. As a comparison, the market capitalization of Twitter is less than $14 billion. In Kazakhstan, the blockchain system is starting to make its way. During the plenary session of the Astana Economic Forum, Nursultan Nazarbayev proposed to introduce a single international payment currency, a cryptocurrency based on the blockchain system. According to him, it will allow to prevent currency wars, speculations, avoid imbalances in trade relations, and lower the volatility of the market. But this is not all. Kazakhstan's National Bank recently announced the completion of the development of a mobile application for completion of sale and purchase operations of valuable securities using the blockchain system. The pilot project entails the use of short-term bonds of the National Bank. But this is not all. For fundamental research of blockchain systems, there was an idea to create an Almaty laboratory to study the possibilities of this technology. IBM was expected to invest into this project. And instead of a summary. According to experts, a blockchain system can give more than we imagine. Its implementation in processes that today seem absolutely incompatible is just a matter of time. That's all from me. My name is Alexander Galiyev. Until next time on Single Market.
The
higher the level of national exports, the higher is the assessment of a country's economic potential. On the level of sector-based productions and concrete enterprise, the share of exports is an indicator of their competitiveness. The entrance into the Eurasian Economic Union and the World Trade Organization have been motivating Kazakhstan to promote its products on foreign markets. Our correspondent found out what the country's authorities are doing in this respect. There are 390 companies in Kazakhstan that supply their products to the countries abroad. Their export geography covers 1,117 countries. Along with the development of the transport infrastructure and optimization of transport, the map of shipments abroad is gradually covering more and more new markets. In terms of optimal logistics and the capacity of China's export market, the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region is considered to be the most profitable area for Kazakhstan's exporters. The synchronization of Kazakhstan's program of infrastructural development and China's initiative on the creation of the Silk Road economic belt are opening up new opportunities for increasing the volume of Kazakhstan's exports. In terms of optimal logistics and the capacity of China's export market, the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region is considered to be the most profitable area for Kazakhstan's exporters. Despite the fact that there are many other manufacturers in China, they're all located on the southern coast of China. It is far away in terms of logistics. Here we're closer, we offer better quality and for more affordable prices. We're hoping to be able to compete with the local manufacturers by reducing the transportation costs. According to experts, the Persian Gulf countries are another promising market. The United Arab Emirates hold a special place among those countries. The Dubai Chamber of Commerce and Industry is ready to support the potential exporters from Kazakhstan. This chamber consists of 200,000 small and medium businesses. It is considered to be one of the most respected institutions in the United Arab Emirates, which supports exporters from other countries.
Where we connect people through logistics, through exhibitions, through trade, finance, tourism, and all the subsectors, but it's in partnership with countries. We bring them together. Just like with the EXPO 2020 theme, connecting minds and creating the future, that is what Dubai does. And that's where we can take the best of each country and connect it here to a supplier as well.
With the construction of the transit line in the west of the country, which has connected the railways of Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan and Iran, and the prospects of the launch of a ferry complex Kuruk, a big export market is opening up for Kazakhstan's products within the framework of the transnational corridor north-south.
میتونیم از طریق مرز عراق به عراق صادر بکنیم.
This means that we can be not just a strategic partner for Kazakhstan, but can also become its exports window to countries such as Iraq, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Oman, Turkey, and other countries.
تموم کنیم این رابطه حمل و نقلمون رو در شمال ایران، این رابطه رو به جنوب ایران و به بقیه دنیا گسترش بدیم.
By developing new export channels, Kazakhstan is at the same time trying to expand its presence on the previously developed markets. These include the markets of the European Union, as well as of Russia, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, and Belarus. By the way, within the framework of the Eurasian integration, today Kazakhstan's exporters are facing an ambiguous situation. On the one hand, the single goods and service market offers additional opportunities. On the other hand, often exporters from the countries of the Eurasian Economic Union face off on the single foreign trade field.
5
countries, each of them has well-defined economic interests. With a lot of them we have a similar export structure. That's why we usually compete on the same foreign markets as well. Therefore, it is natural to work on improving things. We would need to have established regulations from the Eurasian Economic Commission so that they would increasingly satisfy our business needs. The commodity group of the mineral commodities, such as hydrocarbons and metals, cover nearly 66% of the major portion of Kazakhstan's shipments abroad. Despite the price fluctuations, these products still enjoy high demand. The majority of our products, aluminum, are shipped to the far abroad countries. It covers about 57%. Large volumes, which is approximately 21%, are exported to Russia. We also have exports to Uzbekistan, Belarus and Ukraine.
Российская Федерация, есть объем на Узбекистан, Белоруссию и Украину.
At the same time, the long-drawn period of volatility of the commodity markets reminds us about the risks. Therefore, today, Kazakhstan is motivating its businesses to develop the segment of high value-added products and push them to the export markets. Businesses that are focused on achieving success, improving efficiency, investing in the technical modernization of their equipment, producing competitive products, and gaining ground on new markets will be provided full assistance and support. Baltextile is one of such companies, which manufactures carpets in Shymkent on the territory of the Ontustik Special Economic Zone. Since 2016, this company has started exporting products that were ordered by the IKEA brand. This is the first experience for Kazakhstan to have a contract with a global brand. We want to increase the exports volumes in the second and third stage of our project. We're planning to export up to 60% of our products. In addition to direct investments, in order to facilitate the establishment or expansion of their production facilities, export-oriented enterprises receive support in entering international markets. For example, by arranging special exhibitions and business forums, the National Export and Investment Agency supports the presentation of Kazakhstan's products abroad and their search for potential partners. Last year, such meetings were held in Tehran, Urumqi, Dubai, Dushanbe, Kiev, Moscow, and other cities of the world located in the regions that are most attractive for Kazakhstan's exports. According to analyst assessments, today every tenge from the budget that is spent on supporting export results in a return of 59 tenge. Therefore, regardless of any economic collisions, the production of competitive goods, growth of the external shipment volumes, and expansion of the market's geography will ensure true tangible results. Anarta Sanbekova, Anatoly Valuysky, exclusively for Single Market. Without exaggeration, all the best technologies are welcomed by us, because this is precisely what is happening at the International Exhibition in Astana, the rhythm and atmosphere of which has engulfed all of Kazakhstan. I'm welcoming you to feel the energy of EXPO and the report of Natalia Romanenko. It is clear that the energy of the future must first of all be clean, and Finnish experts have even gone beyond this principle. At their pavilion, they presented a method of obtaining heat and electric energy from garbage. With the use of this technology, it is possible to resolve two problems simultaneously: ensure the energy demands and clear out garbage sites. Having successfully merged two absolutely different spheres, and on the basis of this union, experts of Finland created in their country 7 power stations that use waste as fuel. And this special feature is reflected in the name, waste-to-energy plants. For their stable work, substantial volumes of raw materials are required. That is why today in Finland, the collection, sorting and processing of waste is an entire comprehensive program, in the work of which every resident takes part, one way or another. First, we have the distribution of different wastes, which is being done in every city. Plastic, paper, and metal are collected separately. Overall, the achievements of Finland in the sphere of green economy can be divided into 4 main categories: clean energy, smart cities, clean water, and excellent education. And a question arises, what does education have to do with the 3 categories presented above? Everything. Here, children are explained from a young age of what importance a clean environment is for humanity. And this approach was reflected in the concept of the Finnish pavilion. Through a game format, the young visitors of the Expo can get a sense of how electric energy reaches the city. By the way, in Finland, it is generated not just from using waste, but also wind, solar, and hydropower stations. Already 40% of energy consumed in Finland comes from renewable resources. This is twice as high as the target level for 2020 for the countries of the European Union, which says a lot. A smart approach to the forest resources is also part of the list of green priorities of Finland. A curious fact, annually people in Finland cut down more trees than any country of the European Union, but the area of forested lands is not decreasing. The balance is maintained thanks to regulation rules that are part of a national system of certification of forests. It was developed taking into account the special climate features of the country and was approved by the international independent organization PEFC. That is why Finland is successful at, on the one hand, optimally preserving its forest resources, and on the other, at efficient business activities based on the use of lumber. As they say, the forests are our green gold, and already many generations have taken on the responsibility for their maintenance and well-being. The work of this pavilion is organized in a way so that it would be as comfortable as possible, not just for regular visitors, but also Kazakhstan's entrepreneurs that would like to establish business contacts with their colleagues from Finland.
Similarities, of course, Central Asia it's different markets, but sometimes it's a bit maybe easier to come here than to go to some totally different areas.
It is still too early to summarize the results, and of course this is just the first step. Of course, after this Expo event, work will just have gotten started. In other words, the exhibition serves as a launching platform for concrete projects and real agreements. This gives Expo also a business-oriented trait. The exhibition will be held until September, and this is more than enough time to have everyone who is interested in the technologies of the greenest country in the world to visit Finland's pavilion. The country was deemed as the greenest in the world in the prestigious ratings of the Yale and Columbia universities. Natalia Romanenko, Nijat Yusupov, Astana, exclusively for Single Market. That's all for today. My name is Pavel Koktyshev. Kind reminder, all the episodes of our program are available on www.kazakh-tv.kz. Until next time on Single Market.